All right, if everybody would either vacate or take their seats so we can get to committees, please. Madam Clerk, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to get started. If you won't mind, take your conversations outside. Thank you.
Here. There you go. Somebody turned me on there. Did you do that? Bless your heart. Jennifer turned me off there. She just hit my mute button. So Madam Clerk, our new voice of the Madam Clerk, if you'll read into record 1125-10, please.
Resolution 1125-10, a resolution authorizing the county mayor on behalf of Hamilton County government to enter into a second interlocal agreement with the River City Company and the city of Chattanooga for the evolving our Riverfront Parks framework to complete construction documents for the cost of the second interlocal agreement in the amount of up to $2,200,000.
Okay. Todd, your name is on this. You want to?
Here, she did have to leave, but this is for the next phase relative to the design plans that are going on at, I call it the 21st Century Riverfront. I think we call it something a little bit different now. This is up to $2.2 million. The city of Chattanooga, once they program that capital, will pay 1.1, and our 1.1 and the initial 2.2 will come out of the grant that we got from the state. But I'll let Matt Foltz give any other specifics.
So $2.2 million design phase. So
this is the construction document phase. We've done
Okay.
design. This is construction documents. And so that 2.2, 1.1 million of that is what the county will be covering. And that's out of the 15 million that the state gave us for this project.
okay, so the 1.1 is from.
So 1.1 million is from the city out of their capital.
Right.
1.1 million is from the 15 million the state has given us for this project.
Okay. All right. Okay. See no lights. We'll take this up next week. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. Okay, 1125-11.
Resolution 1125-11, a resolution authorizing Hamilton County Parks and Recreation to apply for and accept up to $30,000 per year for 2 years in grant funds from the Riverview Foundation for the summer concert series at Chester Frost Park to amend the Parks and Recreation fiscal year 26 revenues and expenditures budget and to sign any documents related to this resolution.
Okay, Ms. Shostak?
Aaron Shostak, 4005 Cromwell Road. I'm here today to speak in support of the Riverview Grant opportunity that would help launch Lakeside Live, a free family concert series at Chester Frost Park. This initiative brings people together through music, creating cultural experiences for all ages and strengthening our sense of community. Chester Frost already attracts thousands of residents and visitors. With this grant, we can grow that impact, supporting local food trucks, vendors, and nearby businesses while positioning Hamilton County as a regional destination for recreation and culture. A key part of this effort is Dynamo Kids, a youth engagement program that connects people to arts, young people to arts, teamwork, and community service. By combining live music with mentorship, we're investing not only in entertainment, but in the next generation of leaders and creative thinkers. Hamilton County Parks and Recreation will provide in-kind support through staffing, logistics, and outreach to maximize the value of the Riverview Grant. Together with the Riverview, hard to say, Riverview Foundation and our local partners, this collaboration ensures sustainable, inclusive music series that's free and open to everyone. And I'd like to introduce Kessler Cuffman, who will share information about the vision and impact behind this project.
How's it going? Kessler Cuffman, 1407 Market Street. So Dynamo Studios, if you're familiar with it, is a workforce development program running full-time programming in local Hamilton County schools. It's part of free public education and is fully accredited. Instead of going to a traditional band class, you might go learn music production, or a traditional art class, you go learn photo, video design, or filmmaking. What makes the programs unique is that everyone on our team is actually positioned within the industry. For example, I myself am up for Grammy consideration this year. We've had people win Grammys while they were teaching kids or get platinum records. We had one writer who wrote for an artist named Jason Derulo, and she was working with a group of girls at Tyner, and her project went gold. So when we put people in the classroom, these are like the actual professionals. And because of that, we're able to take students. And then, is it working? Are we back? All right. Sorry, I hit the button. We're able to take students from in the classroom where they facilitate skills development into the industry where they're able to apply it. Even this past weekend, students were down. We took a group of students to work with Ludacris down in Atlanta, and they were able to create content for everyone from Usher and Ludacris to Fergie and LL Cool J, and they were literally backstage working with A-list celebrities, and this is all stuff they learned as a part of their free public education here in Hamilton County. This program we're working on with the county itself is a prime example of how they're going to be able to apply what they've learned in the public sector while also showcasing our beautiful parks. So thank you.
One last thing, Kessler's kids are also working. They'll be have quite a presence at the Hamilton County Fair, excuse me, the Little Debbie Hamilton County Fair, where they'll be showcasing their efforts there as well. So we're very excited. Won't be the biggest grant we've got, but it's definitely going to be super impactful over the next 2 years. So thank you.
Okay, so it's a no match, correct?
Correct. There's no match grant. Again, the in-kind support will come from our team to support and enhance the grant itself.
Okay, do you have some lights, Commissioner Highlander?
This young lady, I've had some experience with, she's worked with Fund for Excellence, and Mayor, you made some good hires. Since you've been here, you made some good hires, but she is definitely one of them. She and Matt Foles together make a great team, and we have, as Commissioner Graham said earlier, we have some great staff people here that I appreciate, but this young lady is one of the best. And Matt, you're very fortunate to have her as a partner. And she's fortunate to have you to work with too. Thank you.
Hey, Commissioner Mackey?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chair. This program, it sounds good, but will it be spread out to other parts of the county? Like maybe Lookout Valley or the River Park?
So
Right.
our intention is to create a signature event at each of our parks. And so, for example, Enterprise South Nature Park has cornered Halloween. Of course, McDonald Farm has definitely been successful from the Little Debbie Hamilton County Fair. This potentially could be the next opportunity for Hickson, the Hickson area and Chester Frost Park. And we have some plans for going forward for Tennessee River Park, but they currently are the house of J-Fest, which has been super successful. And so, of course, our community parks have opportunities too, but yeah, we do plan on expanding this out.
And I'm curious, who wrote the grant for this initiative?
I wrote the grant along with Alexa's team.
Thank you.
Hey, Commissioner Graham?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for bringing this to us. I definitely will be supporting this, and I look forward to supporting this. I wanted to talk about the Dynamo Group for a minute, though. Kessler, we appreciate what you do in the schools, and a lot of people don't even really know what you do. And a lot of these kids that are in all these different schools learn a trade from you and from your company. And the trade that they learn, you know, the movies have moved out of Hollywood. They've moved to Atlanta and all around the country, but they're really heavily invested in this area. And so these students in the high schools that learn how to run the boards, learn how to run the cameras, learn how to edit film, learn how to do all these different technical, way above my pay grade, technical things. But these students are actually getting paid a wage while they're learning it. They're getting a decent wage. And then they walk out of school with this knowledge of how to do this camera and video boards and all that stuff and produce music. And then they walk out of there and they're sought after because of this group. They're sought after, the Dynamo Group, they're sought after all over the country for these students because they're so good at what they do right out of the gate. And they're getting this career opportunity right there from high school. And so they walk right out of high school, right into a high-paying job, high-paying career, and it's all because of what Kessler does with the Dynamo Group in our schools. And I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I've heard some of your different things that are coming up, like with the band and different things. I am so excited about what you're doing, and it's the best kept secret in Chattanooga right now, but it's getting out, and it's going to keep getting out, and it's going to keep getting better. So thank you, and I will be supporting this grant.
Okay, see no more lights. So thank you. We'll take this up next week.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Okay, Madam Clerk, 1125-12.
Resolution 1125-12, a resolution accepting the proposal from Simulator Solutions LLC for the purchase and delivery of a Platinum Ambulance Simulator amounting to $91,850 for the Emergency Medical Services Department and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
Okay, Christie?
Yes, sir. This simulator would be the back end, the box end of the ambulance. It would be going into the administration and training center, and it would be for purposes of training our new paramedics and EMTs on loading patients and treating patients in the back end of a simulator. It does have hydraulics, so it would move like a real truck. And it's coming from the bond funds that were previously approved by the commission.
Okay, thank you. I would, I see no lights. I'd recommend maybe taking this board out there.
Anytime you want to come and volunteer to be loaded into it, come on out. We'll give you a ride.
Okay, we'll take this no lights. I'll take us up next week, 1125-13, please.
Resolution 1125-13, a resolution to authorize the county mayor to enter into a contract with Woolper Inc. to provide Hamilton County with Geographic Information System orthoimagery at a total cost of $168,601 and to amend the Hamilton County GIS partnership budget by adding $112,401 to revenue and $112,401 to expenditures.
Okay, Lee?
Yes, this is our standard, every 2 years, we contract for a GIS flyover to basically provide us with ortho imagery for all of our GIS maps throughout the county. We have contracted with Woolpert for several years now. This contract actually is $1,600 cheaper than the one we did 2 years ago. And one other detail is this cost is split 3 ways, and it has been for several years, where Hamilton County pays a third, the city of Chattanooga pays a third, and then we have established for several years basically called the GIS partnership that is several of the other municipalities and local utilities are partners in that partnership, and they basically pay a third of the cost for gathering this information also.
Okay. All right, let's see, no, okay, well, Mr. Chairman?
Lee, just real curious, I noticed this was a not budgeted item. Is that because there was an unexpected increase or something along those lines that we didn't anticipate?
Actually, we probably, if you look at, well, the resolution is a little bit clearer, but it is confusing. But the gist of it is we budget our 1/3 cost. And in fact, we budgeted $75,000 this year, so it came in a little bit under for our 1/3. What we're amending, the other pieces is we're amending the revenue that we'll get from the city of Chattanooga and the revenue we get from the partnership and the expenses for them.
Okay, so we're having to do the amendment to receive the other, the money coming from others that are paying into this because we're the ones that are actually expending it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
got
sir.
it.
We-
Just want to
we-
make sure that was clear.
Yeah, we budgeted for it, and again, 2 years from now, we will budget for it again.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll take it up next week, so that concludes finance.
All right, thank you, sir. Commissioner Shipley, over to you, sir, for Building and Economic and Development.
Madam Clerk, would you read 1125-14?
Resolution 1125-14, a resolution authorizing free public parking at the Cherry Street Parking Garage during specified hours to enhance the downtown experience.
Any lights? Mayor?
Chairman Shipley, let me first clarify for both the public's knowledge and the media's accurate reporting, I don't think we should call this the Cherry Street Garage. There appears to be another privately owned garage that Google Maps and Apple Maps thinks is the Cherry Street Garage, even though internally to county government, we refer to this garage as the Cherry Street Garage. Let's, from this point forward, for the purposes of this discussion, just call it the county garage, county parking garage, which you all know and use and may be parked in right now. This is a garage that has entrances both on Cherry Street and Walnut Street. It serves both this courthouse and the county courts building on a daily basis. Our intent is to make that garage free to the public from 5 p.m. during the week until 5 a.m. and then all weekend on Saturday and Sunday. So that would be 5 p.m. on Friday evening until 5 a.m. Monday morning. We think for this part of town, it will be an economic boost. Having grown up in Hickson, whether this was true or not, the perception has been for more than 20 years since downtown Chattanooga was revitalized that it's just too hard or too expensive to park. And Charles Frazier, the new leader of CARTA, has done an incredible job getting more creative with CARTA and city parking assets downtown. And they have some pilots underway with an hour of free parking. This garage is a little different in that it is owned by the people of the county. It does not exist primarily for generating revenue outside of county work hours, which is the time that the public, for the purposes of commercial activity downtown, would likely use it the most. The fiscal note here is somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000 a year. It's a very little activity in that garage in the evenings currently or on the weekends. But, for example, I was talking to the CEO of the Tivoli Foundation on my way into work today because we feel like that is specifically an institution, an asset in our community that would benefit tremendously from a very large, centrally located garage, 2 blocks in one direction to Memorial, right at about 2 blocks in the other direction to the Tivoli itself, which will be reopened here in the next couple of years. About 3 blocks over to the West Village, 2 blocks across the courthouse lawn to Fountain Square. And we felt like it's, us doing our part to be creative and address, again, I think what is as much a perception issue as anything. There actually is a lot of parking downtown. Some of it, particularly the privately held parking, is pretty expensive. I understand where those concerns come from, but, on this side of downtown, so to speak, we feel like, at virtually no cost to county government, this is something we could do that I think, just for context also, at times historically has been allowed, but more informally. I've been told, Todd Lehman could speak to that. I think at times the gates were just known to be lifted after county hours, but this would be us more clearly marketing that to the community, working with River City and the Tivoli Foundation and others to make it clear that this public asset, when the county does not need it for official business or courts business, would make it available to the public. And we would, if this commission approves this, make that clear on signage on the building that nights and weekends are free.
Yeah, who owns the garage?
Hamilton County.
Okay. So Hamilton County owns the garage. So you're anticipating 4 to 5, I think you and I talked about this a couple months ago, but 4 to 5 grand annually?
Annually, yeah. The revenue we derive after hours and on the weekends averages out, it goes up and down during the year, but it averages out to, I think, $360 a month. That's all the revenue the county derives off this garage. It's sort of out of sight, out of mind. It actually is not out of sight. It's pretty centrally located, but it's virtually not used after hours.
Okay. All right. It's all questions. Good. Thank you.
Commissioner Highlander?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Mayor, I applaud you. I think this is a good idea to help our citizens. I plan to support you on this. I do have a question. I know that we've had some problems with illegal activities and homeless in this part of town at night. Will we be providing police or protection or sheriff's protection or guards there, or to make sure there's lack of illegal activity there?
Well, I'll answer, first of all, for context, the garage is even currently open after hours. So
Okay.
we do have people paying to park there. It's
Right.
not a whole lot of people, as you can deduce from the meager revenue the county generates from the garage. But I think Todd can speak to, I know at one point, Roddy and I had talked about before this takes effect, at least adding this to a Walden patrol so that we're more actively keeping eyes on it.
Okay.
Anything you want to add?
No, that's kind of what I would recommend relative to more awareness of parking there after hours. It's currently manned, just working hours, and then obviously there's a call you can call out, but it is all automated now. So, but we can have some discussion as we roll this out about people being more aware of where it's at for Walden and or the sheriff's office.
Thank you. I think that would be a safety concern for the people that are there. And I do applaud you for offering this to the community. Thank you.
Commissioner Mackey?
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Mayor, do we own other parking lots?
That's probably we do own other parking lots. We
I
own
know.
some that are, immediately adjacent to the courthouse. Todd's probably got a better inventory than I would have off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, we have parking lots across the street here that we own behind ML King off of Vine Street that are employee parking areas. I'm not sure that's what you consider. Health Department, our other parking garage is currently at the Health Department. There's a parking garage there next to our Health Department there on 3rd Street. But we don't have any other paid parking lots other than the two parking garages.
Commissioner Shipley, I see no further lights back there. sir.
Chairman, I have my light on. I'll be supporting this, but before we leave here today, and I know that you, Chairman, have worked on this, is the safety of all these ladies in this room today when we leave here. Next week could still be some daylight, but as time change, by 5:30, these ladies are going out into the dark. And I've had conversations with some of them about this. I don't know how we're going to work it. I know we have officers here, but even when we get our administrative ladies out to a car, we have our clerk's office. These ladies are here about another hour. I hope that we have this resolved by next week for their safety. Now, a little stick of dynamite, Barnell, I don't have to worry about her. She'll whip them. But no, I'm serious. These ladies, Patricia, our office, ladies over here, mayor's office, we need to protect these ladies. And that's all I know.
We have had those discussions, sir, and I thank you for bringing that back up, considering it is as quick as next week. Chief Roddy has been on top of that, and I have every expectation that it will not be a concern when we come to meet in our next meeting.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Beck, I see your lights.
Okay. Yeah, the Public Safety Committee met with the sheriff, and I think we worked out a plan. Of course, that plan cannot be publicly disclosed, but we have worked out a plan to cover all of the areas of safety for this nighttime meeting that will be infringing on the church. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that very much. All right. No further lights, no further business. We're done for the day. Thank you. Except for legal meeting. Don't everybody go anywhere that's sitting up here. Everybody's in the back.